People treat you how you let them. So today's training is all about that. I want you to think about how the relationships with your clients, relationship with potential prospects, relationship with your colleagues, etc., how you allow that scenario to manifest itself into the results that you produce. Something that I've been noticing significantly across the team is relationships and how we allow people to treat us. So when we're going out there looking for prospects, we obviously want to be courteous. We want to be, pandering to their needs to a certain level, and we want to encourage them to work with us, to work with you, to be a part of our search process and role selection, etc., and become that, that infamous client that we're all looking for. But people will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. Okay? Now, it's easy coming from my perspective because I can push back because I've got 13, 14, whatever years of recruitment experience behind me, and I believe in myself. When you're first coming into recruitment, first 2-3 years, it can be difficult because you're kind of just hoping that if you're nice to somebody and you do everything you possibly can for that person, that they will like you. And that is a good way of operating until that relationship is not reciprocated. Okay? I'm going to bring this down to any kind of personal relationship that you've got. All right? So if you've got a friend and every time they see you, all they ever do is put you down, they tell you how bad Mo's haircut is, tell you how the fact that Ollie hasn't had a shave. It's not beneficial to you. They're always telling you that they're better. They're always telling you that they've done more. It's what I used to refer as a topper. I used to work with a guy, and when I first sat down, he was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I do outside. I go walking a lot, and I've got what's something called Mountain Leader Training Award qualification, and then there's the actual full award. I'd done the training level, and he immediately responded with, "Yeah, I'm a fully qualified single pitch award, which is climbing." And then I remember speaking with him 6 months or 9 months later and being like, "I know when you started, you said he was like, I've never been climbing." And I was like, "But you told me that you'd done it." It was all about just becoming better. This guy was renowned in the business, so just topping. So to come back to that, how we allow people to treat us is important when you look at a prospect and a client perspective. Okay? If you're in an abusive relationship, whether it be with a friend, with a partner, there's different circumstances and not everything's as simple, but the recommendation, I'm sure, from everyone around you would be stop being friends with that person. Stop being in that relationship. Stop allowing that person to treat you that way and communicate it. If somebody doesn't communicate back with you, if a prospect that you're working with, you're trying to pitch business for, doesn't communicate back with you, not going straight in there with what I regard as my kind of email, but John, when are you free to speak? John, when are you free for a call? John, I will assume that this is no longer of interest. Oh, John, when are you available? Oh, John, I've emailed him 7,000 times. Okay? Just getting that balance. Sometimes you go too far and you're too direct, too to the point, and then you begin to soften that out. But most people sit in the soft end where they'll allow a candidate not to ring them back, they'll allow a candidate not to have a conversation with them, they'll allow a client not to give them feedback for 3 weeks on a search. And they're happy to have that relationship, and they're happy to be in that position because they have something rather than what they perceive as having nothing, which would give them more time to find the client that they actually wanted. Okay? If you are having relationships with people and it doesn't work, you need to change the parameters of that relationship. You need to change the parameters of how that client deals with you. Right? There's numerous clients in the business that we've renegotiated rates with because we're not happy with it. There is numerous clients in the business, or previous clients, we no longer work with because they don't fit how we want to operate. And there's many of you around this table that if I said, is there a client when you go, oh, I've got a lead from, I'm not going to say a firm or a film, but, oh, I've got a lead from X company. Oh, God, they're terrible. Yeah? Oh, I've got a lead from that company, bloody hell. And it's just like, waste of time. Right? We don't work with those firms. And it's not, oh, we're arrogant, oh, we choose who we work with. We're keen to do business with private equity firms, but they've got to be good relationships for us. They've got to be working with you. They've got to have conversations with you. They've got to value your opinion. That means you've got to have experience, knowledge, and expertise, etc. I just come in here day one and expect clients to just be like, oh, yeah, brilliant, yeah, I'd love to work with you. How many years experience have you got? None. Oh, fantastic. That sounds great. right? We've got to work on our own game, and we've got to get to the level where we can challenge and we can have conversations. But if we don't push back, and we don't challenge somebody when that relationship turns sour, when that relationship, they don't treat you the way that you'd like to be treated, your leverage, you're doing all this and they're doing absolutely nothing. You've sent them 7 fantastic candidates and you're not getting a response. Oh, well, I'll leave it for 3 weeks. Absolutely not. There's being nice, and then there's being, look, you're wasting my time. I don't like how you are treating me. I don't like how this is going. And it's not that, oh, yeah, I'm perfect, and oh, I don't have any of those relationships. I've got some right now. I was working on a search in Germany. Not getting any response. So immediately it was just like, look, we're not getting enough, the communication's not quick enough, the feedback's not good enough, we're going to leave it. And I've emailed them to say, you do not respond quickly enough. This is clearly not a priority for you right now. Email back, it is a priority for us, we've just got to learn to deal with it. That is a good definition of it is not a bloody priority for you. Right? You won't get retained with us. If you want to work with us, happy to do some more work as a proactive basis. We can find candidates, we demonstrate that, but you have to be bought into our process, because at the moment you're taking valuable time of mine and we aren't getting anywhere. Okay, communicating with people on that level, and you wouldn't believe how that raises your profile. For those that have been on calls with me recently, I've been challenging clients. I did with Cosmos last night, done with Ollie previously, I've done with Talima recently. You've got a client, the work they're retained. Oh, okay, well, why is that? Oh, right, okay, well, I understand that. No, why do you not want to go retain with us? I don't understand. We have a model that promotes that if we don't work and we don't do what we say we're going to do, there's no risk to you. Why would you not want to do that? And I had that conversation last night with basically a talent manager kind of process administrator, one of those kind of blends. And she was like, oh yeah, I really like role selection, really heard great things about you, which is just blowing smoke. And then my challenge was, look, person, why would a good recruiter work with you on this way? And then she even said, I said, look, what's your process here? We want to try and fill the role ourselves, and we want to engage 2 or 3 of the recruiters. And my response was, why for a good recruiter would that be an attractive proposition? And she went, well, if you get the best candidate, you get to fill the job. But what you're telling me is that you could find somebody through your own network, and they could be average, and you hire them, and I've got no control over that process. Or we hire the best person for the job. I know that what you're asking me to do is to risk my time and how we work. And if I was really good at my job, and your competitors work with me on a retained basis, why would I work with you? Changes the dynamic a little bit, doesn't it? And if you've got the confidence, you've got the knowledge and capability to be able to question that, rather than, oh yes, of course, I will run around for the next 3 weeks trying to find you candidates for you to then email me and tell me that you filled the job, you cancelled the job, you've done a different direction. Not slagging off contingent, I built my career on contingent, but what I'm telling you is that there is a little bit of a challenge that we can go through to challenge the way people treat you. It's not just, does somebody not communicate with me? It's more than that. It's a hell of a lot more than that. It's how do people work with you? The reason that they're not working with you retained could be that you haven't bloody challenged them. Premier private equity firm in Germany. First conversation, would you consider retained? No. Brilliant. Never brought it up again. Worked on loads of searches for them. Got offers. Candidates didn't accept. Alex, we've gone retained. And I was like, what? Yeah, we've gone retained because it wasn't working for us. Bad reputation on the firm, sweatshop, loads of stuff coming through, feeding that back into them, basically consulting for free, we've gone retained. And it made me think of, I didn't push these guys at all. I didn't send them a pitch. I didn't tell them that, look, I think we should need to consider this. I didn't tell them that your reputation is not great, your working hours are too long, lots of people think you're a sweatshop. People in the investment banking and management consulting think you're a sweatshop, and they're not even in private equity yet. No, let alone the associates that you try to pitch from, pull from competing firms in Germany. I allowed that relationship to be contingent. I allowed myself to do the work. And it was probably because we didn't have enough clients, we didn't have enough business. I wanted to bring more businesses in, and I wanted to win more organisations in business. Absolutely right mentality. But I just let myself an opportunity to go, listen, I may not have won that retainer because we don't have enough in German. I may not have won that retainer because I'm not German. I may not have won that retainer because of a million other different reasons. Because I'm not good enough, the other person was better, whatever. Right? I didn't put myself in with a shot because I allowed that relationship to work in a way that didn't serve me.